Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Any Intermissions. I got a really special guest from me today that's far away. Tell us who you are and where you are.
Hey everyone, thanks for having me on, Troy. My name is Matt Yee, and I'm currently located in between Austin, Texas, and Richmond, Virginia.
That's awesome, man. Thanks for hopping on. I met this guy over Instagram. He's got an incredible story, which we'll get into. But Matt, let's start with the easy stuff. Baseball, man. Let's talk some ball. Tell us about your baseball journey.
Yeah, no problem. So I played pretty extensively through like growing up since I was 2 years old, since I could put a bat in my hand, like most of us. And then from there went through high school ball, had like a intermission that we can talk about later if we can get
Hmm.
into some medical stuff. And
Hmm.
then 2 years ago I was with the New York Mets as their bullpen catcher actually
Hmm.
in their organization. And then this last year I was signed by the Cosmic Baseball, which is kind of this big new brand going up, which is glow in the dark baseball. It's the most amazing thing in the world. And I'm a catcher on the glow emojis there. So we have two teams, which is the chili peppers, which are like the equivalent of like bananas, right? And the glow emojis, which are the party animals almost.
That is awesome. Yeah, I've been seeing your posts lately on the gram about all that. It looks so awesome.
It's the best.
We'll get into that here in a sec, but talk about baseball, man. What's it meant to you? What do you love about it? What keeps you doing it?
Sure. I think it's so funny that baseball, like, Yogi Berra had like yogiisms, right? But
Yeah.
like in reality, baseball is the closest thing to real life that you can get from a young age as a kid, right, to an adult, because like we fail so much, right, in general in life. Like anyone that you talk to will always fail much more than they'll succeed, right? And that's the epitome of baseball, right? The best players going to succeed three out of 10 times, right? Like that's
Hmm.
the definition of failure. And in what industry? Whether if you're working tech or anything, can you say, hey, I fail 7 out of 10 times every day, right? So it helps you with life. So I love the adversity it brings. But I also love like hanging around the guys. I was just having a conversation with a teammate of mine named Breland. We were talking like, what's the thing we enjoy the most? It's actually sometimes not even playing in the game, right?
Yeah.
It's the fan interaction and just hanging out with the guys before and after, right? It's an experience like no others. I'm sure you can attest to, and many others.
Yeah, you've played at a really high level, a much higher than I ever got to, which is awesome to see and kind of hear stories from people like you. Can you share a little bit about what's it like being in the bullpen, being with your pitchers, being in the dugout, just the travel you guys do? Like, what's that like, the brotherhood you guys make from all that? Just talk more about the fanfare and all that fun stuff.
Sure. Like the Brotherhood is like you'll hear me say like no other probably too many times, but like it's so unique, right? Like you're going into battle together every day, whether if you're a bullpen catcher or the actual catcher, like no, it's like, from the bullpen perspective, you grow really tight with these people, right? You are a family. Like it or not, you have no choice but to spend time together. So you might as well learn how to get along really well with each other. It brings a lot of lessons and experiences. One is like you can take 10 people from different backgrounds who really had nothing in common and learn how to gel as a team, right? That's a life skill within itself that's applicable beyond baseball. But in it, I mean, being in the dugout, especially going through my transition I did, which you don't see a lot from bullpen catcher to, the catcher.
Hmm.
It's a unique perspective because you're watching, you're cheering your guys on, and now you're in it and you're expected to produce. But I think the one common like attribute there is like no matter what, like you are a team, but you do it as much for yourself as like the guy right next to you, right?
Oh,
Like
it's
you just
good.
want to come through and do your part.
Yeah, I love that. What sport does, bringing people together of all different backgrounds, is a beautiful picture of just what life's supposed to be like, right? It's special.
Sure.
Going all the way back to Jackie Robinson, and just what that was like for him and then what that did for culture and to like still to this day.
Yeah.
Very special, man. Hey, tell us a little bit about what it's like to be in the minor leagues and just seeing that world. I know it's a hard world to be in, right? That everyone's trying to get to the next stage, the next journey, and you're still trying to be a team at the same time.
Sure.
Talk about that.
Yeah, it was interesting to see. For me, I was just happy to be a part of the process, right? And I was just
Yeah,
happy to be there and enjoy it. And I think the one thing that was really cool to see was just like how, like, two perspectives. Like on the emotional and personal side, it's like how close everyone is. Like, it is so tight knit, right? Like everyone is kind of playing against each other in a way, right?
it's a
Because you're
great way.
right. They're playing for 29 other teams at the same time. but you're also like you're in this small town that you've never heard of. So like last year I was in Binghamton, New York, and I had never heard of it until I was there. It's a college town. It's actually a pretty good school, but it's like the community just shows up for the team, right? So it's fun to see that like where it's like you're your own community, but like how much the guys are also involved in the community, especially community outreach. In Binghamton, actually, the manager there is Reed Brignac, who was a former big leaguer with the Rays, Yankees, and a couple other orgs. But something cool for me with that is I've had cancer multiple times. And when I was in Tampa, Reed actually came to the hospital to see me when I was a kid with the Rays. We had a huge full circle moment,
Wow.
very much kind of like it was a God thing almost,
Yeah.
right? Like that's how you
Yeah.
have to toss it up. But like from the community, it's cool. But I think in the minor leagues, like you grow like a very fond appreciation of the game. Like people
Mm.
very much love it. You are working for your goal, and I think it's the best thing in the world. Like those experiences I'll cherish every day for the rest of my life.
I love how you talked about minor league baseball being in random small towns all across the country. That's the biggest truth there is. We have one in our little small town here that we talked about off camera, and yeah, man, it's special. They do a great job of creating family environments. I've had one of my best friends has played minor league ball. He's still close with all of his teammates, like you're talking about, and the community and the host families that the guys live with, and that kind of thing. So that's pretty special, man. Well, talk about what you're doing now. Cosmic baseball, or over the right, whatever the right terminology is. Walk us through it again, and how in the world do you guys hit the ball? I don't care that it's glowing in the dark. That's still hard.
It is tough. So the best way I can describe it, I'll talk to baseball guys and non-baseball first,
Yeah.
is like for baseball guys, it feels like a really verty fastball that just explodes out of the hand, right?
Oh,
Like
wow.
guys who have like a ton of ride, like 25 ride, like that's
Yeah.
how it feels. And we have
Okay.
a guy named Sam Bragg who actually had some big league time with the A's, he pitches against us. So he already throws well, right? And he
Yeah.
throws with good ride. So in the dark, it's like the other day I didn't bat and I swung and I was like, what the heck just happened? So on the non-base village, if people are fans of it, it's still hitting a ball in the dark. Although you can't see like the spin, but
No.
like we've done it so much that like you do get used to it.
Got
And
it.
like luckily enough, like the organization does, Chris Martin is the owner and he does such a good job at making sure like we had a good amount of time to prepare. And they do a lot of things, from player safety to just making sure you feel comfortable because at the end of the day, like we can't put on a good show for the fans if no one hits the ball.
For sure. Yeah, totally.
But I encourage everyone to try it and come out to the game if you can this season. We're on a tour, obviously, right now around the U.S. and next year will even be better. But like I
Yeah.
said, it's the most fun experience you can have.
Okay, tell me. Obviously, it's hard to see that ball out of the hand to hit. What about catching, man?
Luckily, last year at the Mets, I got my fair dose of people that throw pretty hard.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But what I can say is like 90-mile-an-hour fastball feels like 105.
For sure.
My first time catching a ball like in the dark, we had this guy named McKay Johnson throwing who was like throws like mid 90s, but he's also 6'5". So he's throwing the ball right
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
essentially at the grass. And I remember seeing this two seam just come at me, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to anticipate it, right? In all baseball, it's all about anticipation. And I go there, and the ball just like, clicks me in the wrist. And I
No.
was like, how did that happen? So it's both are very difficult, but like I said,
Yeah.
like the organization's did such a good job at like giving us time to prep. Like we had the proper spring training, right? So we
Oh,
can get used to it. So now it's just
okay.
second nature, right?
Yeah.
So now we can jump in, turn the lights on, we go cosmic, and it's just normal for us. It's funny. The last series we had in Lehigh Valley, right outside of Philadelphia. Like when I wasn't playing, I was in the bullpen. I took a couple fans and I was like, "Hey, let's play catch and throw in bullpen." And it was so funny to see because it's become second nature for me. And I just lobbed the ball back, and he's like,
Yeah.
so it's incredibly tough, but it's such a cool experience for people to
Yeah.
see. It's cool for us to see. Like it's something that never gets old. When those lights come on and the UV
Oh,
starts
man.
and the music's going, it's surreal.
That's super cool. Okay, so are the rules all the same? You still playing 9 innings? You're still doing 3 outs? Like there's no rule changes?
So we've done some cool things. So we want to get the games are between two and a half, like 2 hours to 2.5 long. We have like a halftime. So the first half of the game is regular baseball. Like we do some cool things. Like we have like this Uno reverse where like we run to third base instead of first
Oh
base,
yeah,
right? And
yeah.
we'll go reverse around. And when that Uno reverse happens, it's funny. You'll see a right fielder go to second, and the outfield comes in the infield goes in the
Oh,
outfield. So it's kind of cool to see that. And you're like, you always hear the right fielder who's like, I can play shortstop. And you go see that happen.
dude,
It's like,
yes. Hey,
go
I'm gonna
turn a
call
double
all
play.
these outfielders right now, dude. They all think they can play in the infield.
Yeah, it's like go turn a double play. And then, but other than that, it's traditional. Like everyone here is a good baseball player, right? Because it
Yeah,
needs to
yeah,
be traditional in baseball. It's just like in entertainment ball. Like at the end of the day, you have to have really good fundamentals because you
a
have to pull
hundred
out
percent.
tricks. So we'll incorporate some tricks like here and there. Not nearly as much as like what you would see the Bananas do, but like our pitcher for Glomoji, Stephen Chambly, was part of that organization before. And you'll see him throw tricks out. Same thing with our shortstop, Trey Vanderpool. He was part of, he is with the firefighters last year as part of the
Okay,
Bananas org. And you'll see them like pull it out and you watch those guys and you're like, how do you do that? And
dude.
it's just because like the
Yeah,
baseball side bit, like these guys are practicing that.
yes.
And then we go into like this 20-minute halftime, and there's music and a DJ. And when we go into Cosmic mode, it's like a concert. Like if, whether if you've been to a concert or not, like it's like full energy, music is going the whole time. Like, funny enough, if you're not paying attention to the game or if you had like a 5-year-old who really doesn't understand yet and just wants to be there, like there's
Yeah,
activities for the kids going.
nice.
And it's just so cool to see. And the lights go off and we run out to all the lights. And it's
Oh, let's
just,
go. Yeah.
yeah, it's nonstop. But when you see baseball just hit in the dark, like it's just like I said, from the dugouts, crazy. We've seen it from the stands. It's crazy. It's incredible. But I think one thing that's nice is like we entertain to like the baseball truists, right, who
Hmm.
want traditional baseball, as well as
Hmm.
to like the new breed of just like the entertainment and just bringing more people into the games.